An Open Letter to All Mankind by Thommo. Please help me. I write this open request for help to all other beings on this beautiful planet we share. The world that I am currently living in appears to be broken. It's not irreparable, but it's not far off. That's why I need as many of you as possible to help me. In my world, most of the resources are used for the financial gain of big corporations and a greedy few that control them. They hold power over the governments in my world, and virtually none of them are interested in the needs of the people. In fact, many of them are actively trying to get rid of us. Also in my world, many people are very sick. Most of our scientists are trained by and have their research paid by the big corporations. They no longer strive to make life better for us all. They merely try to make more money. They create medicines and then they create the illness. They no longer look to prevent disease. They look to treat it, prolonging the suffering and maximising the revenue stream. They tamper with the genetics of our crops for the good of mankind, as if mankind and nature didn't have it pretty well sorted already. Soon, all our food will be genetically modified, and so will we be. The mainstream scientists keep quiet when harmful chemicals and drugs are added to our food and water, because if they spoke out, they would lose their funding. Our power needs are based on dangerous nuclear power, resource-wasting fossil fuels. We have the technology in my world to produce all our power through renewable, such as solar, tidal and geothermal. But there is little money to be made in free energy, so the corporations block the scientists from finding ways to utilise it for all the good of us all. I need your help to set the scientists in my world free, so that they can do what is needed for our sustainability. In my world, engineers that could build for the future of our kind are not allowed to. Instead, they are required to build what they are told by the greedy corporations. Profit is more important than function and quality. Transport systems and networks are dangerous and out of date. Many of the engineers are prevented from using the technologies developed by our scientists for anything other than war. There is a lot of money to be made out of war in my world. These two sets of people together could transform the planet if they were allowed to, without causing the mass destruction that goes on now. All that stops them working together for all our benefit is the handful of beings who control the governments and corporations. And they like my world the way it is, and don't want it to change for the better. Many of the people in my world are controlled by belief systems that they have been brainwashed into believing. Deep down in their hearts they know they are controlled, but they are unable to escape. They are bombarded day in and day out by rules and regulations that they believe they must follow. Their religions indoctrinate them with one set of rules. The corporations indoctrinate them with often a contradictory set, which causes conflict. Television programs are exactly that, programs, subconsciously altering our state of mind and implanting new beliefs without our knowledge. Our music now indoctrinates our children with perverse messages designed to corrupt and entrap them in a subhuman existence. Many of the people have been divided and view each other by the colour of their skin, their wealth and their social standing, which part of the planet they were born on, which sporting team they support. They are also divided by the politics that is forced on them by the corrupt governments and corporations, and by religion in the form of which deity they worship. They no longer see each other as being equal, and I need your help to wake them up. Fear is the emotion most people in my world feel every day. Fear of what they will lose if they don't keep up their mortgage payments or pay the loans and credit card bills. Fear that they won't earn enough money to pay for their children's state-controlled education. Fear that they will lose their jobs if they don't perform better and put the company before their own families. They are the lucky ones. people in my world also experience hunger, not knowing if they will eat from day to day. They fear that their children will die from preventable diseases caught from dirty water. They fear that in times of drought there will be no help to reach them, no matter how much well-wishers give to charity. They fear that they will be killed in wars that are being fought against an imaginary enemy that could appear anywhere in the world. Fear that soldiers from another land that don't speak the same language will see them as an enemy because that is what they've been programmed to believe them to be. Fear that their whole families will be instantly destroyed by an unseen attacker as they sleep in their beds, whilst a teenage soldier thinks he is playing a video game as he pulls the trigger that kills them. Also, most people fear the act of dying itself. Fear is a very negative emotion when it is used as a control mechanism, and it stops the people in my world from making positive change. Can you help the people in my world dispel that fear? In my world, the people have been led to believe that money is the most important thing in their lives, that without it we could not function. This is an illusion created by the wealthy corporations and the governments which they control. If the people in my world knew that it was all a massive deception to keep them operating as slaves for the benefit of their masters, they might break free and restore the world back to its natural balance of peace and harmony. They would very quickly learn that we can all work together for the benefit of mankind without the need for money and the slavery it creates. They would soon learn that money is the barrier to progress, not the result of it, and would learn to cooperate to maintain society the way it should be. The money control mechanism is rooted so deeply into the subconscious that people in my world say they would not bother working if there was no money in it. But there is still hope. I need your help to make the people of my world understand that they are better than that. To understand that they can achieve amazing outcomes using the power of thought. As I mentioned previously, my world is currently ravaged by wars. In the last 60 years in my world, many millions of people have died as a result of war. However, very few politicians or rulers have died in those wars. Mostly the poor who join up as a last resort, or those fooled into being patriotic die. Not to mention the poor people that are invaded. Please help me to end the wars in my world. Violence is not the route to peace and love, it's the route to anger, hate and mistrust. All I ask from you is that you imagine my world the way it should be. Imagine that it is peaceful, no wars at all. Imagine that it is balanced and that only what is really needed is taken from nature, as we learn to live in harmony with the world. Please imagine my world with no hunger. Imagine that no one goes without the love they need. Imagine that money does not exist and that the wealthy have no mechanism to divide and rule my world. Imagine that all the people in my world worked together to create paradise for all to enjoy. Please spend a few minutes each day imagining what I ask, and my world will surely change for the better. You may even notice that there are things in your world that are not right and need changing. If you change what is wrong in your world, my world will also be changed for the better. There are now well over 7 billion people in my world, and we are all equally valuable. I believe that my world will change for the better, and I thank all of you that choose to help me change it. All it takes is a little bit of empathy, compassion, and focused intent. Maybe that will be the reason that you pass my letter on to all the people that you know, so that they may decide whether or not to help me change my world and yours in the process. Thank you. Peace, love and respect, Thommo. Read by Simon Elder. Music also composed and played by Simon Elder.